We're all very excited and happy to have all of you join us tonight. We're going to be basically discussing the membership growth in the age of information. So now, as we all know, every organization has their own challenges and solutions in how they grow their own member base, which is why we wanted to host this evening tonight, bring all of you here so that we could share some of the strategies, challenges, and best practices that basically some of our panelists have to offer. Okay? Especially right now in the digital age, we are a digital platform. So to give you guys a quick introduction on EventBank, we are an all-in-one event and membership management solution. We offer basically CRM, event and membership modules, including email marketing, and basically we can provide you with the technology for any organization to transition to a digital platform. For tonight's agenda, our CEO, Eric Schmidt, will give a quick talk on why information is so pivotal when it comes to memberships. After that, after Eric's talk, we will have Eric will moderate a panel with our esteemed panelists. And of course, at the end of the night, we will still have time to continue the networking. Okay? Without further ado, please let me introduce Eric Schmidt, our co-founder and CEO of EventBank. Eric is focused on delivering cloud solutions that transform the professional community, enable and enrich relationships. Over the last 15 years, Eric has founded and incubated several companies from the ground up. He maintains substantial experience with venture capital and private equity investments. Eric is an elected member of AmCham China's Board of Governors and is recognized as an authority on digital technologies and business in Asia. He has been featured in the Wall Street Journal, Financial Times, Barron's, BBC, CCTV, China Daily, and numerous other outlets. And Eric once traced Marco Polo's route from Beijing, China to Venice, Italy by bicycle, which he was appreciatively sponsored by Nike and Philips. Please welcome Eric to the front.
Well, thank you everybody for coming. Happy to at least host this event. It's our third event in 3 days. Same topic. Monday we were in Manila. Yesterday we were in Singapore. And today here we are in Hong Kong. So happy to at least have the same discussion with a different group of panelists. Each discussion has been different. But most of all around the topic of membership growth in the age of information. What I want to do is just make sure we set up our discussion for the panel. Before we do, how many of you are from a member-based organization? You have members? All right, so majority of people, pretty much, you guys are in the right spot. We're going to be talking about that. And one of the things that we're trying to do as EventBank, obviously, we are a technology company. We are working with different associations, chambers of commerce throughout the world. Our team here in Hong Kong obviously has started working since last August with many organizations here in the market. But as we've gone through this and talking to different organizations, the challenge is if you want information, if you want to know how to build membership, if you want to know how to run an association or chamber of commerce, most of the information that exists out there is actually written in the United States. Most of the thousands and thousands and thousands of associations in the U.S., and most of the content is written for them, by them, because there's many people writing about it. But when you go and try to find information on how to run associations in Asia, very, very limited. And so these panel discussions, what we are creating is content to be able to help people run associations better, chambers of commerce, and be able to have the information and insights from everybody in the room that then can help organizations grow over time. And even within Asia, the way that somebody does things in Singapore is different than here in Hong Kong, which is very different from China, which is very different from the Philippines, and likewise. But again, there are commonalities between the different organizations. unless you go to India. And then again, also very different how it works there. So, but the commonality is every organization is dealing with challenges in membership growth. Everybody wants to grow their organization, right? But what I did want to do is we did take some U.S. data just to make sure people understood this is a common problem regardless of where people are. Some of the information, 62% of associations in the U.S. right now are experiencing flat or declining memberships. That is not an easy thing. Secondly, 35% of associations reported increase in engagement compared to 41% in 2016. So over the last few years, 5% or 6% less engagement within those organizations. This is a challenge that everybody is facing. And certainly, when we talk about engagement, engagement is one of those buzzwords that everybody's talking about. How are we engaging with our members? How are we engaging with our suppliers? How are we engaging with prospective members? But that keyword engagement can mean many different things to many people. And obviously, that's one of the things that we'll be talking about on the panel today. So membership growth is a necessary overall strategy, but it's an ongoing thing. And one of the key aspects to that is, most people are thinking about new members, but actually it's the existing members that are providing the majority of the budget to be able to staff an organization of, depending on the size of the organization. So, thinking about that balance between recruitment and obviously retention of those existing members. But retention is a challenge for everybody. We go back to the keyword engagement and how people are thinking about it. This is one thing that I did want to pull out. Again, if you look at the difference between associations and sort of the new subscription models, right? If you look over the last 10 years, subscription models in the for-profit world, right, have become everywhere. So from subscription software to things like Netflix. How many people know Blue Apron? Anybody know Blue Apron? So they're basically a subscription service for food delivery, dinner at home in the United States. So wherever you go, you're late, you don't like to cook, you order Blue Apron and it's a subscription food already made delivered to you. But this is in the for-profit world. We'll use the red one since I think hopefully I'm guessing most people know Netflix. So Netflix, over a 24-month period from the time somebody purchases to the time 2 years rolls around, the average basic retention rate is somewhere about 60%. People are still customers 2 years later. Now, if you're running an association and you only have 60% retention rate, your board is probably fired, right? Because that is not a good statistic to be looking at. But in this, obviously, Netflix world, they take that as that's pretty successful because their growth rate is also growing at a much higher rate than their churn is actually happening. So prospecting your new members, again, this is one of the things we'll talk about on the panel, but just some things for you to think about when it comes to strategy. Where can you find new members? What can you offer them? And how do you attract them? Keeping members engaged. So we talked about the retention side of things. Outreach. And we put a note here, which is first-year memberships. Okay? Because if you look at statistics, the most important time for somebody to continue to be engaged and making sure that they renew their membership is within the first year. If you're not tracking people through the first year and they don't come to your events, they don't read your newsletters, they're probably not going to renew for year 2. But going from year 1 to year 2 and continuing on, the statistics are very high with associations that people continue to renew over and over again, as long as they were happy within the first year. So that is the key thing. That's, again, why we put it here. Delivering relevant content. So everybody talks about content these days. Of course, in Hong Kong, you guys have the luxury of everything is close by, so there's events everywhere, right? But content, and certainly through events, it is important because if you're not having the right content, people don't come. People don't come to your events. But at the same time, blogs and these other ways that people are communicating these days obviously has to be done in the right way to get people to be engaged and regularly engaged. And the last thing is tracking their engagement. If you're tracking what's going on with the members, you then can understand what they like, what they don't like, and if they're not engaged, how do I get them to be engaged? And those are the strategies, certainly, that you want to think about. Making content stand out. Again, in the United States, one of the things that's happening is for-profit organizations are now competing with non-profit organizations because content is everywhere. People are now providing value-added services on top of their content in order to make money. But you look at some organizations, the Medical Association is now competing with a mobile app because they're providing the same information to doctors as the American Medical Association was doing previously. So these challenges are happening, and certainly it goes back to the first statistic when we talk about the number of declining memberships within U.S. associations. Again, it's different in Asia, but again, as a baseline to understand some of the challenges that are happening, these are definitely some of the things we're seeing. Feedback, really pulling that feedback, making sure you're giving people the information that they want, that they need, in order to further their career, further their company, whatever it is that you're actually providing value to members. And then, of course, mobile apps these days, everybody's on the mobile phone. If you can't get the information to them on the mobile phone, chances of them they are engaged is much, much less. And so, of course, technology. If an association is not running on technology these days, the chances of engagement is even less. So because it does deliver better services, it nurtures the content for the right channel, whether you're using Facebook, whether you're using LinkedIn to deliver that content so you can pull people in and build communities around what you're doing. And the other thing is learning how to interact with that content. Again, some other statistics about technology and the impact that it can have on an organization to create automation, to really help facilitate certainly event registrations, 35% more once somebody has technology, 25% more membership renewals. Most people don't think about the process of membership renewal, but it is a process that is tedious for most organizations. Many organizations are facing the challenge. We had this conversation yesterday in Singapore, where many of the organizations we do see, people are in charge of membership. And instead of going out and selling new membership, they get stuck with admin tasks of send an invoice, check to see if the person received the invoice, make sure that they caught the person in the right time on the renewal, collect the payment because they got to go to the bank, check, make sure that the bank received it, double check that it's that person's name, and then come back to make sure that they get their new membership information. It's a lot of work that goes into these things, but making it efficient, automating that, certainly creates a lot of benefits for both the organization as well as the members. So, and again, we just talked a little bit about the renewal cycle on EventBank. We do automate that, but again, some of the different challenges that do happen through there, if they're not using technology, are expounded, and certainly trying to make it simple. It's obviously not there. William did talk about a little bit about EventBank, but again, it's really an all-in-one solution for associations, chambers of commerce. We do work with corporates who are running events, but again, key thing is automation, making things mobile, CRM, email marketing, event management, membership management, websites for some of our customers that need it, and then of course making sure everything's on one platform to track engagement. And so that leaves us.
Thank you very well. Up here in the room, we need the microphones. They're not working well, but you can probably hear me pretty well just from speaking. So let's get right into our panel discussion. We will leave time at the end of the discussion for Q&A. So get your questions ready, and we'll get to those later. So for our first panelist is Raymond Chen. Raymond, if you can take a seat at the end over here. Yep. Raymond is on the Financial Technology Advisory Board at the Hong Kong Institute of Bankers. He was also appointed as the Managing Director of 9F International Holdings, a subsidiary of the 9F Group. He's an active speaker and practitioner in fintech areas, including virtual bank, eKYC, EID, Open API, mobile payment, and cross-border banking.
Raymond is also actively serving in the academic space, including the advisory board of the Masters in International Banking and Finance at Lingnan University, mentorship program at the Chinese University of Hong Kong, financial technology advisory panel of the Hong Kong Institute of Bankers, assessment panel of the Hong Kong ICT Awards 2019, FinTech Cooperation Committee of the Asian Financial Cooperation Association. Please welcome Raymond. Next, we have Georgina Shek, who is the Vice Chairman at the International Food Safety Association, also known as IFSA. In addition to her responsibilities at IFSA, Georgina is the Director of Water Pipe Plus, which allows her to pursue her passion of bringing high-quality water and making sure healthy drinking water is consistently delivered to her clients. Water Pipe Plus provides high-end water cleaning machines and filtration systems and other water solutions for their clients. Georgina's key objectives at IFSA are to support her chairman's mission in expanding the association's reach, in advocating for food safety, and continues to build a broad membership base and further strengthen its ability to act as a collective voice for the food and beverage industry. Welcome, Georgina. Our next panelist is Eva Law. Eva is the founder and chairman of Association of Family Offices in Asia. Eva is a seasoned professional in asset management, private equity, and wealth management, having diversified her knowledge and experience in running multiple businesses. She is also the founder and chairman of the Association of Private Bankers in Greater China Region, Asia Co-Investors Club, and the Chartered Institute of Asian Family Firms and Offices. Eva has won the Best Master Trust Award, Wealth Management High Flyer Award, and various Fund Performer Awards from Lipper and Morningstar for her served companies. Please welcome Eva. Last but not least, we have Emil Chen. Emil is the founding chairman at the Association of Cloud and Mobile Computing Professionals. For over 20 years, Emil has established, managed, and coordinated IT and back office operations of leading international banks like Bayerisch Landesbank, Credit Suisse, Banca Commerciale Italiana, and he is also the past vice president and supervisory board member of the Internet Profession Association, also known as IPROA. He is also the vice chairman of Hong Kong Emerging Technology Education Association, chairman of the Smart City Consortium's FinTech Committee, vice president and honorary secretary of the Hong Kong Blockchain Development Association, and also the council member of the Hong Kong Software Industry Association. Please welcome Emil to the panel. Yeah, please go. See if it doesn't work. So I'm actually going to be moderating the panel, and I'll leave the show.
That's a lot of titles, Emil.
Yeah.
So, as I mentioned, our key topic today is obviously talking about membership growth and the age of information. So first, in order to set that up, what I want to do is start down with you, Raymond, just to talk a little bit about what you've been doing, how that relates to membership growth, and certainly the organization's background and mission of how we are delivering, obviously, really the value for members.
As the MC and Eric has kindly introduced me, I'm now working in one company called the NIF Group, which may not be very famous in Hong Kong and may not be very well known in Hong Kong, but actually is we claim to be the #1 independent internet finance company in China. Our primary business is doing the P2P lending. If you have heard about that, we are a matching platform to match the borrowers and the investor on the platforms. So in this sense, although our primary business is to do the money lending, we are a money lender. But on the other hand, we are also using our own established and proven technologies to enable the other organizations or the institutes to grow their business. So one of our main business is to sell the AI technologies on, of course, on credit scoring. But and another flagship products of us is on what we call the growth engine, which I think after listening to Eric's introduction, I think we are competitors in this front. We are also a technology company in this end, and we help companies to grow their members or users, because in commercial worlds we count users. Mainly our business is in mainland China, but nowadays we are also expanding rapidly in Southeast Asia. And what we call the growth engine is doing is we use the AI technologies to expand the users or membership very rapidly, with half the cost of normal the original online marketing cost, but with triple or 5 times the efficiency to convert your prospective users or members into a real members. One of the real life example I cite with Eric is that in Indonesia we help a bank to launch an online lending platform from end to end, both the front end apps, mobile apps, and also the lending platform. But we do more than that, is that we also enable them with our what we call the growth capability. So using our growth engine, we start the project in week 1, and in week 5 we have already implemented the whole end-to-end online lending applications, including the customer front end and also the office back end. And how long do you guess we get the first million users in Indonesia? First million registered users. We get all of their registration. 1 year. And another guess? That's too high standard. It's in between. It's 20 weeks. 20 weeks. You imagine 20 weeks you get from 0 to 1 million users. And we use our technologies, the AI technologies, to drive the traffic, and the app in Indonesia, it keeps to be the top three apps in the App Store in Indonesia. So that's what we are using the technologies, both the AI and the big data. These two words are not a buzzword for us in fintech area, but rather is a implement and proven technologies that we can employ, so that you can know your prospective members or users more, and you know how to direct or lure them into your sites or your apps or whatever your position is, so that you increase your membership. That's how maybe I share a little bit on these technologies, how to grow the membership, and I can share later on. And I go to the next speaker.
Wow. Actually, I have nothing to say now. No, because actually I come from a quite traditional or local association. Yeah, our association is International Food Safety Association. Actually, they grew from we have only 7 years for this association, and they grew from a very academic, because half of them they are professor, most of them they are professor. Just a few of them are students member, few of them are corporate member. That means they are doing business, and so that's why before they are very, very hard to get the member from the commercial world. Yeah, because they cannot reach a lot of the people they are doing business, or the people they are doing like the food and beverage, yeah, F&B business, restaurants. Very hard to reach them. But for the professors, they are very easy to reach the students. So before, they have so many students, so many professionals, members in this group. And later on, and they do it just one by one. They talking, because some of the students they grow, they enter into, they are employed by some of the company, and they know there is a group, and this group of people they can provide more more information to help them to know more about the food safety information or some new information for them to help them. So that's why it's a very good channel to have more corporate member at that time. So this around 3 to 4 years ago. So during that time, actually they have only about 200 something members. But today we are 7 years old, and we are now almost 1,000. Yeah, in total the corporate members, ordinary members, because some of the share they don't have their own business, but they are one of the professionals, and they have the student members, and some of the student members, because they grow already, they are no more student anyway. So that's why they changed to ordinary member. So, and also the normal professional members, which is they are still a professor, or some professors from overseas. So now you can see the growth is quite rapid during that time, because we do a lot of work. Yeah, like we do some award scheme, and now we are promoting our local scheme. So that's why we are very high profile now, and go every other related association to promote our association. But because actually they're different. Because like if they are restaurants, they can have a group, right? But because they are a group of restaurants, if they want to know more about the others or more like the food safety or the others, sometimes they have to ask for help. Like they have to invite some other people to come to have a talk, to make their member to know more, right? So that's why our association can assist them to do so. So that's why our association's membership growth like this way. Yeah, because we do a lot of interaction. We are not going to grab their members, but just let their member to be our member. So it's a very good way. But this is traditional way. We are not using any technology. So today actually I'm a very low tech people here. Yeah, so we're just doing the normal traditional people way to do the membership.
Actually, I run several membership organizations. The first one actually I established about 10 years ago. It's Association of Private Bankers in Greater China region. At that time, I just set it up very casually. Want to network with the industry people, because at that time I moved to China. It's quite isolated, so I still want to connect to the international market. So at that time I established APB, but with internet, we did not do a lot of promotion or spend any marketing dollars. But then we got about, in 2 years' time, 600, close to 700 members. And we also have some informal gatherings in Hong Kong when I come back to Hong Kong. So when I one day leave the bank I serve, then I decided to really formalize that organizations. Then we experienced quite an exponential growth at that time, but not through technology, but through people. How we do that growth is we create what we call an ambassador system. That ambassador is people who buy into our ideas and what the association is going to do, and then they support our association through several ways. For example, they find some other member to us, or they refer some people to enroll our training program or attend our activities. And then if these kind of activities, for example, the membership or the event, if there is a fee, actually we got most of the fee first year. play to the ambassador. So we from less than 700 in I think 2 years time. In APP, we have over 9,000 It's quite exponential because I think it's about the incentive that we give it, okay? And then we also, I think, we do really, provide, a lot of facility or function to ensure we live out our role in an association. For example, we think about why they need to join as a member. Then we must, have some benefits that we can deliver. And we can do something for this kind of member. So we bear in mind what we need to do. So we ongoingly have events. We ongoing create some engagement program to make sure we can generate values to these people who want to network or to want to find potential new prospect. So this is why I think we can then have the member. And then later on, I also create another similar organization because I have the experience in APP. So it's very fast track in creating AFO. AFO is the Association of Family Office in Asia. But this one is a bit unique. Okay, we have their infrastructure, all their structure things very similar. But the setup for the membership is a little bit different because for AFO, we have 2 types of membership, or we should have equitably 1 type of membership. We call that member a single family office. But for these single family office join as member is on a nomination basis. So to us, it means we do not proactively grow the number. Because when they join as member, they need to really get the approval from other existing member, right? So, but then we have another category. We call this category connector. But we have huge number in this category. In SFO category, we just have right now 2 addition, up to 51 now. In the past, we had just 49 last year. But this year, we have 2 additional single family office being nominated and joined as member. But for the connectors, well, we have also 9,000 something, quite a lot. And these connectors, who they are, normally is other single family office that are not our member, but we have relationship with them. And we have some other what we call multi-family office. That is the professional organization that service the very ultra wealthy or service the single family office. And also co-investor. But co-investor is a large term. Within this category, we have, for example, a lot of private company. A lot of treasury within the private company, they co-invest with our single family office. And also have in other investing club globally to join as the connector so that we can then create a platform to enable them to speak in the same language and to explore interests that they really have the same goal. Okay, so this helps us to very focus serving the needs of the stakeholder. May not be a member, but they are still the very key stakeholder in our community.
No, maybe just introduce one of the 20 associations that I think. Are you an ambassador or?
It's easy. I was a banker for 25 years experience. I set up a bank like what you guys is doing now is to get a virtual bank license. So my job was to set up a traditional banks, in the different countries in Asia Pacific. Then after the financial crisis, I decided not to work for banks anymore. Thanks to the banks, I'm financially independent. So I found that rather than just retire, I want to give back. So rather than just serving the community, I found that Hong Kong is going into the wrong way. We have the potential, we have all the talents, but we are moving toward the trend. So I try to lobby the government. I try to write a lot of articles, get interview by the the media, but it doesn't work very well because I'm an individual. So I start to set up a cloud and mobile computing, just to trying to convince the companies, that to employ technology. So if they can use the technology, and cloud is one of the best solutions. So even bank is on cloud. So when it is there, if it works for one association, it works for the other associations, and you do not have to build from scratch. And then somehow the government, particularly some departments, they are telling the public that the other way around. You got to use cash. You got to be using the old system. Hong Kong will work. Then I feel very frustrated. Then I started, find my way. So this is my own association, founded 6 years ago, and then I started to join other associations. Not founded another one, but I just participate. I also one of the lecturer for the HKIB, association. So I try to penetrate into all associations. That's why said 20. So I'm not running them, but I just want to share my opinion and using different path to express my opinion. So that's why I started. When the government started to pass the messages, officially to the associations, I find my own way. Being the advisors, being the lecturers, being the panelists, to say the opposite. That the message, I believe that it is correct. So because of this, I have problem, for my own association, to grow, because I'm not using it as a business. And then, but I'm not agree with your, comments that, you guys are competitors. Say, now we need to play the football game rather than single game. So when you play as a frontier, okay, and then you play as a defense, or the other way around. So everybody has their own role. Then we can enlarge our market, we can outreach. So that's why I'm here. So I just should try to share my opinions and the better way, by making good use of cloud and mobile computing. If everybody has a mobile, phone, then we can win the game, and particularly unleash Hong Kong's potential, to be the financial center.
So this question will be for both of you guys. Obviously, you both have had the opportunity to set up your own associations and start from scratch. In doing so, how have you gone through and really looking at curating a membership benefit scheme that benefits the members and helps them achieve what they want to get out of your organization?
We do quite a lot of different things for achieving your same purpose. First of all, we think about, the audience. For example, in ATP, most of our members in the stage one actually are individual bankers. So people asking why then you can unite these people, we can pick each other. Then when you gather them, then what you can do for them, right? So then I think about in their perspective. That is, they want to meet, for example, potential investor that they can acquire as potential customer. So then we try to create event, not just having the practitioner joining the event, but also inviting, for example, entrepreneur. But then we need to think about why and how we can attract the entrepreneur to come, so that we can create an opportunity for our banker member to really develop new relationships with them. This is one of the ways that how we develop events for our members. And also we think of some other needs, for example, the ongoing development needs for themselves and also for the industry as a whole. So we think about how we can uplift the professional standard. So we then start thinking about some what we call PPPWM, principle of practice on public wealth management. And then on this we work with some other award presenting company, because we are not regulated. We cannot through punishments to really to grow the member. We actually use words to motivate people follow this kind of standard and think about how they can do better. Okay, so this is another way. And also, for example, we also think about how other things that can help. We, in the very initial stage, try to think out, can we liaise with some other company that can offer benefit or discount to the member? We think this is something good, but end up, I don't think it really help us on growing the number. For example, we secure some discount, we even secure some free passes for some restaurant or whatever. But end up, I don't see a lot of members using it. So this is not really something that they really value. So I think we need to think about, okay, what is the bottom line? What is the core thing? What is most important to the member? And then we more focus on doing these kind of activities. For example, we spend a lot of time. For example, we do a lot of survey. But these kind of survey is not just sending some Q&A and asking them to fill in the questionnaire. It's not like this. Rather, we work with some research company. For example, when we work with family office, we work with a lot of research at university, but doing research have very in-depth dialogues with the family office, and then end up through this kind of very intimate style. Then we understand their priority, what is their concern, what limiting them, then what we can then play some role in helping them. So we spend more energy in this kind of research or industry-right kind of things, and then end up not just cascading some messages, but also helping us to more understand the member and to develop our service and solutions to the member as well.
That's great. Emil, so looking at the Private Computing Association, again, when you started from scratch, how did you frame out different membership types and certainly the benefits that were associated with them?
Well, we focus on professionals, individual level at the beginning. Okay, so we try to charge customers or members annual membership fee. It doesn't work out that way because there are too many associations and everybody has to pay. And then a lot of associations, they charge them for training, CPD, so for professionals. But we are not this kind of body. We just want to promote, the application of cloud and mobile computing. So throughout the past 6-7 years, we found that the only way out is to run an event, okay, and so that affiliate association, or companies can join, and we collect a sponsorship and we send it back. It's actually a non-profit making association. So as long as the message is being transferred, okay, and it will be it's somewhat like an investment. But somehow we find that in order to make it more successful, so if we have the capability, okay, and I would love to explore the opportunity to use a software, okay, to take care of the back office job. Another my observation is throughout that 6 years is to Hong Kong is different. Despite the fact that if I at the moment run this association very successfully, okay, I have a lot of members. We cannot scale up because Hong Kong is just one city. So that how can I use the same system, the same methodology to transfer to other city? No way. Hong Kong is so small. So we have the Greater Bay Area initiative. So either we scale it up to other city, or I just maintain it. And I would rather partner with you guys, okay? So because I do cloud and mobile, everybody uses cloud and mobile. So if I can share the purpose, and you find the beneficiary from my association, we can play that football game. So I'm changing the strategy. Okay.
So looking at the Food Safety Association, obviously you said 7 years ago things were set up, but how do you look at really making sure that members at all levels, I guess membership types, are really getting the membership benefits that you promise?
Actually, we are doing the same way. We do a lot of events, which is they can learn from those the topics, so that the people they willing to join. So and also they are quite successful because most of the members, in the very beginning, they are students. So we look into them. They are students. So the first income actually they are university students. So they are looking for jobs, right? So that's why we start to do the career talks. That means we invite some very big company, the HR, whatever. They come and join us and then set up some booth. Just have their CV right away. So after we do that, because we have so many corporate members now, yeah, because yes, very good. You got a channel for them to get the interns, to get the student to be their staff. So it's a very good channel to exchange our member to be their staff. So that's why they're willing to join us to be a corporate member. So the big one to be our member, then of course we will put their name over there, so that yes, they are a member also, to convince more company to join us. And also some of the company very hard to, very hard for the F&B to have more staff now. So very hard to the recruitment is very hard for them. So and very hard to have the right person. So that's why we have some we have some events, like we're doing some small parties, small events, or even and every single year we have a spring dinner. Every 2 years we have the AGM. We have 20 to let's say how can I say the 20 table, in Chinese we have the round table for 12 people, right? So before we got only hit to 20 tables, but now it's almost reaching 40 tables.
Wow.
So and because we have to do a lot of work, right? So I have my own job. We are all volunteers. All our expo members, they actually work with their company, right? So that's why we need more people to work on this event. So that's why we draw out the students. It's a good time for you to show. Yes. So we let them to have a platform, let them play. So we just to be a leader. So we just yes, then you do that, blah blah blah. So help them to coordinate all the things.
Does the association have full-time staff?
No.
No. Okay, so all volunteers.
Only one part-time staff to send out the email. So that's why I think this one is quite helpful later on. And now, and now they are doing during that the event, for the event organizer, actually we got a lot of job, a lot of work on that. So we let them to do some, and also we can have a chance to introduce those the volunteers, students to our corporate members. So actually both of them are very happy. So they're happy to pay to come and eat, right? And of course during that time they can see a lot of people that they can get them to be their staff. Yeah, which is true. We already have a very good channel for them to have both. Yeah. So
what percentage of, I think you said 700 members are corporate members versus individuals?
Actually now is we got 4-7.
Okay.
So for the corporate member, right now is the less one. Student member, of course, is the most the core membership. We got the ordinary member because they transfer from the student to the ordinary. and we got a group, and this group is quite stable, and they will not go because they are professional. So we got 4 segments, and of course the big part should be the student. Yeah, but now we grow on corporate member. So during these 2 years, we got actually we got almost a double. Yeah, for the corporate. Yeah, we got a double. Yeah, very very hard because we do a lot of steam, a lot of work on that. Yeah.
Good job. So how did you come up with the pricing structure to go alongside of the membership types, and how much did you end up charging now compared to what you thought back then?
For APD, we have not changed the pricing for a long time. We just changed it one time. In the very beginning, we actually waived the first year membership fee just to engage with the people and then let them to experience our services and see whether it would worth them to pay the membership fee. Since then, we didn't charge them, but we don't want to scare them away, so we charge a very minimal fee at just $500 a year for individual membership in APD. And then when really we have some impact in the community, then our ambassador also urging us, you don't receive this type of membership, then why do you need us? Then they start to bring in some corporate number, joining as APD member, a corporate member, okay? Then for this type of unique membership category, then we have this triple cost for the corporate membership. Since then, we don't change any thereafter till now for 10 years so far. Yeah, we might think about as long as we can grow the number, and then we can control our operating costs because we are not really a profit organization. If we can survive and then have the adequate revenue to run the operation, then we do not really consider about a lot of change on the pricing. And then on AFO, it's very unique. We don't actually actively promote the membership because, as I explained before, it's a nomination system. Because in AFO, we will facilitate the club deal among the member in this very closed circle. So actually, in the very beginning, when we set up in 7 years ago, I think for the first 2 or 3 members, actually we didn't charge. But since then, we really have the big ones. Then we start to charge because they say, why you do charge us? And then they are you know, for these kind of family office or the family enterprise, they are very rich, wealthy. So they wonder why we don't charge them, right?
Do they need cloud and mobile?
Since then, we then charge $50,000 as joining fee, and then also $50,000 annual fee.
Wow.
So then for everyone we have resources. Yes, and then later on we have connector. In the past, we don't have the connector, but so many people approaching us for joining, but we don't really have that type of category. And then we reject people away. Then we say, we should be doing something wrong. So end up, then we curate the category, we call them collector, and then we charge $5,000 a year. So it's just to maintain our services.
Let's connect.
Yeah.
Just to get a show of hands, how many of you have raised membership prices in the last 3 years? Wow. Okay. How many have done it in the last 5 years? Okay. So 3 organizations. Okay. Interesting. What about the Food Safety Association? Have you raised prices over that period of time at all?
Actually, we have changed our structure. Actually, we have
Yeah, one after.
Yeah, we changed our structure actually. Because before, they have only the yearly plan. So they have to pay annually. For the corporate member, they charge 2,000 annually. And for the student member, no charge. Professional member, 500 Hong Kong. For the or honorary member, 300 only. So because the association is non-profit association, and also for those with professor, actually they are so mean to to pay. Every year they have to.
It's so difficult to pay. It's difficult to write a check.
Yes, difficult to write a check. Yes, that's truly. So that's why we try to because actually we think that the members number is a very value to our association. So that's why we are just thinking we change our structure.
When did you change the structure?
Actually last year.
Okay.
Yeah, we changed to a lifetime member.
Uh-oh.
Yes. But the lifetime member is also very cheap. The lifetime member for the corporate just 5,000 Hong Kong.
Wow.
So cheap.
This is the problem that actually Indian associations ran into.
Because actually I tell you why we changed this structure. Because for the lifetime member, because once they in, then they in the number here. So we can invite them every time to join the our events. Whatever we have some information we can deliver to them, and they will not say no. They will not reject because they are a member. So if they can join more, because most of our event, because we charge. Yes, so sponsor. Yes. Then we are easily to ask them, hey, this time you can sponsor our whole table, blah, 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 something like that. And actually, those event can maintain the whole year expenses already. So one event can maintain the whole year. So that's why we, of course. So right now we want to explore the expand the numbers. So that's why we change our structure, which is and also we do some tricky things here because if you pay annually, actually I pay more than 5,000 if I pay for let's say 3 years.
Yes.
Then for those I say in Chinese, 忠心耿耿嘅. How can I say? Loyalty. Yeah. Most loyal. Yes, die-hard fans will say, hey, it's not fair to me, right? So that's why, and we have a way to them. So we just ask them, okay, because we have restructured, so that's why we have a very, tricky thing. Then you just join our annual dinner. Okay, you just buy the table and sponsor our blah blah blah. Then you can entitle a lifetime member already.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can I ask you this? So are you not worried about having budgets for future years if everybody?
Actually, I talked already. Actually, one event can, we have the revenue because actually we have not so many expenses. We have a part-time girl for the administration work. So every small event, we have some targets. So they can maintain the whole year already. So one big event is enough money to maintain the whole year. So and also we are all non-payable but die-hard workers. So that's why they have free free staff. Okay, we are one of the free staff of them. So that's why we changed this stuff.
So Bill here says he's not a fan. No. So I'd like to hear his thoughts on this situation.
Yeah. Well, I agree with you for your change of structure at the moment because you see when you go to the restaurant, why you are not paying the cup of beer or per items you order, because it takes a very troublesome to settle the payment at the moment. Okay, but I'm sure. So when the virtual bank is ready, when the mobile payment is ready, okay, we can pay, for single items. So because we are moving into the world of big data, AI. So if you do everything once a year or lifetime, you have no engagement at all, with the ordinary, with the user, apart from the annual dinner. But payment, in my eyes, is just payment. But in the data analytics, or the specialist size, the behavior. I set up a campaign, you come. Who comes? Why come? How much, I'm charging you, and then you reject. If I lower the fee, you come. Then, all sort of data will be in your hands. So rather than, solve one problem, but you are moving away, from the new world. So we need high velocity of data. We need high frequency, of transactions, so that you know the behavior of your customers. So if your competitor, that is ready, okay, then we must go back, to charge them. What about daily membership, hourly membership to the extreme? I just add an extreme. It is so simple, be my member. So why? Say, somewhat like you pay monthly subscription to Netflix or annual subscription to whatever, like these 24 months Now TV subscription. You hate it because it's the change the program. You have no option. But what about, they charge you per video, okay? And you want NBA, that particular one. So that's an Apple model. You would listen to that song, you are not buying an album. So it works. Okay, so my opinion, stay calm and wait for the readiness, okay, of the payment engine. So when it comes, there will be swings back. So I need more data. When more data is come, it's in your hands, your sponsor will come, because they have a better picture about, the successfulness, of it. If it is a charge event, we charge everybody. You have a better understanding, of the amount of participants. So my opinion, may take 1 year, may take 2 years. So get set for that happen.
Sure. So, and on that same topic, that's why I mentioned Indian associations, because Indian associations made this mistake many years ago when they decided that, look, we want to get as much revenue today, so we're going to make lifetime members. And this is, 10, 15 years ago when these organizations were trying to build their membership. The problem that they have now today is the only revenue that they have comes from their dinner or their annual conference. And so now they want to expand. They want to hire staff, full-time staff, to run their associations, but they don't have the budget because there's no annual dues from the members in order to pay for the full-time staff. And this is the challenge that they're running into now, where a lot of Indian associations have no budget. India is growing at 7% plus GDP a year. Membership could grow exponentially as well, but they don't have staff to go out and actually staff the organization because they have no budget. And so this is the challenge that that these organizations are facing today. Yes, it's about data, but at the end of the day, associations have to run on a budget. And for volunteer organizations, at some point, obviously there is a ceiling in terms of the total, actually addressable market. But at the same time, there are ancillary sort of customer-based things you can pull in. One of the things again we talked about in the Philippines 2 days ago was being able to have sort of as you mentioned with the bankers, sort of I would say professions that are on the side and cooperate, but they're not directly associated with the particular organization itself. So again, just some of the trends that we're seeing, certainly in the U.S. again is very different because they're now getting, as you said, monthly payments to these things so that people do pay on a regular basis. But that's just because people don't want to pay $5,000 on day one. They want to pay monthly. They want to pay over time, but not necessarily data driven, just because they want to be able So I do want to open the floor to some questions. Would anybody like to be the first to ask a question to our panel? Here we go.
Hi, this is Terry with the Immersion Women Association. I have a question for Eva about Connect. So we also have a data for ambassador. So we are these days trying to reach out to the members, to potential members, and deliver the message about the association. So for the connected papers, so are they what sectors are they from, and what they are looking for? What value are they looking for when they are joining your association?
Okay. In AFO, we have connector. In ABD, it's a member or corporate member. Okay. Then come back to connector. Normally, connector are three categories. One, they are the multi-family office. So definitely our industry stakeholder. And also the second category is other single-family office that are not our member. So they don't have the nomination join as a member. And the third one is co-investor or other organization or individual having relationship with the association. For example, in co-investor subcategory, we have many private company that is investor in nature. While some of these connector or co-investor, sometimes they emerge themselves as asset disposer rather than investor. And sometimes we also have what I mentioned before is the investing club. There are so many investing clubs that maybe just focus on some particular, for example, real estate. This one is commodity. Then you will then be able to gather like-minded people having similar goals all together for doing a lot of exploration. We have so many these types of co-investor. And the last subcategory is the solution provider that can service these kind of ultra-wealthy people or institutions. So, for example, we have a trust company joined as connected. We also have some other dealer that's selling the luxury car joined as connected. So we try to build an ecosystem to have the different stakeholders in our industry. And then we provide an environment to mingle, exchange, or enable them to do a deal or collaboration.
Oh, hi there. It's Georgia, right? Georgina, sorry, Georgina. I'm fascinated to. I'm Deborah Biber. I have just stepped down as the Chief Executive of Pacific Basin Economic Council, but I've also run the Australian Chamber in Hong Kong for 8 years, and I am also the Chairman of the Entrepreneurs Club in Hong Kong. So all volunteer. The Entrepreneurs Club is volunteer, the other two are paid. But I'm fascinated to know your focus on sustainability. If all of you are volunteers in the long term, how is it possible that you could really be sustainable as an organisation without actually creating some sort of secretariat, albeit maybe half a day a week or one person or someone, other than just someone to send out emails, but someone to actually engage in your ecosystem to pick up on that. That for me is a kind of fascinating situation that you're in.
Actually, we as I said before, we have a part-time girl for the administration work. Yeah, so she will handle all the emails. So for our volunteers, yes.
But she's not out in the marketplace, is she? She's literally just seeing.
Yeah, just handle.
Just doing admin.
Yeah, just doing admin.
Okay.
Yeah. But
So
for us is because before we just focus on some like once a year the AGM only.
Right.
So we are very busy during get a few months, 2 or 3 months. We are very busy, but the rest of the time actually we are not.
And do you have society status in Hong Kong, or are you a limited company?
Yes,
Acting
this
as
is
an NGO.
Yes, this is not NGO, this is an NPO, non-profit organization.
Okay, by
But the,
registration.
Registration is limited.
Right, limited. Okay, thank you.
Yes, limited but guaranteed, yes.
I want to supplement. Can I? Actually, our two associations, APB and AFO, we have a large force of volunteer. Okay.
Sure.
We have, for example, training board. We have what we call region and chapters. That is in China or over the world. We have our local people there working for the association as a volunteer. Okay. And for example, we also have specialty bureau or technical committee, quite like subject matter expert in certain field, okay? But these people all are not receiving any salary.
No, I understand. I do understand that. All of the associations that I've run have been basically managed by volunteers.
So I try to explain, okay? Your question is about the sustainability because we are not offering the salary, right? So I try to explain how we can achieve this, okay? For example, in our specialty bureau or technical committee, these people actually are very senior guys in our industry. Normally MD, CEO, something like that, C-suite level, okay? Sometimes when they leave the company, okay, they need another career option. And then in our association, we do offer them this kind of option. For example, with the bureau or this kind of committee, the association itself, we always receive some sort of consulting mandate or service request from our ecosystem. A lot of these kind of requests. And then we can offer them a consultancy contract in name of the association. But most of the fee, actually, roughly 75%, pay back to this kind of a bureau member, okay? And roughly about 25% to go back to the association supporting our operation, okay? But then we create, some option to the market player. For example, a client looking for a good solution. Then these solutions actually are delivered by these very senior guys. So you have this kind of contract with consulting firm. Normally, when you're doing the pitch, it's the partner facing you, right? But then when you are delivering the contract, who's doing all the groundwork for you, maybe the VP or just the associate, right? But here is a very top guy servicing the customer. And then we are not a profit organization. We don't need to take the profit, right? We just need to finance our operation, quite like other business entities. They still need to finance the operation, but they need to have a layer to pocket as a margin. But we don't. So we are creating good solution to the end client. We are creating career or some other development option to the senior executive in the industry. So association still living our role, right? So this is how we can, in our way, to incentivize our executive that they are willing to service the association. And before they can really do this kind of consulting job, what we will do for them, for example, we in a year normally have at least 50 activities, or conference speaking opportunity. And then we let our executive to speak in these kind of international conferences because we frequently get invited. Or when the media is approaching us, we cannot answer all the questions. We need to let these kind of experts to do their job so that we make sure when we answer these kind of questions, we are delivering them a quality report, right? So we give all these kind of exposure to our executive. And we give them the opportunity, for example, to write their insight article, or we interview them. So we give them a lot of exposure, maintaining their profile and stay active in the industry. At the same time, they're also serving back to the industry more junior people as well.
Yeah, so I just want to clarify, I think, what Debbie's asking. In terms of sustainability, right? So you look at the American Chamber here, I think they're just celebrating their 50th anniversary. The Australian Chamber, which, she was running previously, I don't know how many years is that now.
30 something.
30, so Bankers Institute, right? These have a professional secretariat of folks that are running the day-to-day operations to make sure that the media inquiries are handled properly. The events are obviously generating more revenue. You're not outsourcing every event to somebody else, and an event external company or agency who's doing it for you. So I think what she's asking is looking at the organizations, how to make it sustainable, how to get it to that 50 years. Because if you're just relying on the goodwill of a professional, is that sustainable over time, right?
I think we need a different system. In our story, that we think we create a structure to enable the stakeholder can deliver the services and also deliver something to the association. But of course, one point you mentioned is very worthwhile to study how we can maintain their long-term sustainability. It's about the finance of the organization. So we still need to make sure we save the membership fee, or we need to have adequate activities that can receive sponsorship or whatever incomes that we have. And honestly speaking, when I set up this association, right now I'm using my own company to become the secretarial office. That is actually using my own resources rather than association resources to finance it. So the secretarial office, the resources is from me rather than from the association. But long term, we need to think how we can then do more. Okay, but for AMO, we do really have the revenue. For APB, maybe we need more resources.
Right, so I would ask the same thing. I mean, I think the same thing.
Yes, actually, before the secretarial office is our chairman's office. Yes, and also all the secretarial jobs is done by the chairman and the staff of the chairman.
Yes.
It's not only those it's the same. When they are babies, so they do nothing, so they have to, they do have the babysitter, right? So now, but I saw that because actually I'm also another, I have a total 4 different F&B related association I joined also, and some of them I'm also the director boss. So I saw that like the HKFORT, the Hong Kong Federation of the Restaurants and Related Trade Association. It's quite big association for the FFB. So they have their own property, they have their own team to do the secretarial jobs. Yes, very nice. And also they have so many revenue, in the bank. Every month they have a meeting. Regular meeting every month. They will show their bank, the bank statement. So
Free meeting.
Free meeting.
One at every
You see, and no. Everybody can see in the bank.
Okay.
So every month you can see there's still that amount or even more. The balance is very big. Yes. Then you foresee that actually we are doing, and also we want to make some more events or more other schemes to ensure that our association will not die, and also we will grow until we have our own property, our own office, our own secretarial team. Yes, of course not easy, but actually it will be, because we saw that the association is only 20 years. So we can see that.
Signed less than 20 years ago.
Yes, of course.
But
I tell you, the business actually is not a business. Actually, it's a influence parties to the government.
yes, of course.
This is this is the behind the scenes that the people, why they volunteer to do so many things, because they want to be the influence party to the government, to the others. That's why this is the energy for the volunteers. Yeah, because they can reach more. Just like next month, I'll go to the Macau to see the government, the food safety officer, the top one. So for my offices, for myself, actually I cannot reach them. But I can, on behalf of my association, to deal with them. So this is why the people do so many volunteers.
Yeah, so that's how
I can tell you, that's my, this is my energy, and also actually different association, this is behind me. This is the energy to let them to do more to the association. Yeah.
Okay, I think we have time for one more question. Anybody want to take it? All right, right there.
Hello, this is Leo from Information Systems Association, HTU. So I would like to ask Georgina and Raymond about the student engagement. Because from what we've observed over these years, student engagement in the universities and in general have been declining for a long time already. So I'm just curious on how we can create events to drive student engagement, and more broadly what we can do to improve student engagement.
You mean from the society or the association point of view?
From the association.
Yeah, for the outside association. Yeah. I think for me, I work mostly for the HKIE, and to engage with the student, I think is they have all the organizations or the associations have to think about what is their value proposition to the students. For us, when I work with HKIE, we are looking for their career plan. So we focus on giving career talks and to give the students more insights on the industry. What are the opportunities in, for example, the banking industry in large, or the fintech areas in particular, and also to provide them more opportunities to engage with the industry practitioners. I think that is more valuable than the fees or the other charges they are giving you, because I think in school you have a lot of opportunities to interact with your lecturers, professors, but to interact with a real-life industry practitioners, that is very valuable to you today and for your future. And there's also the opportunities for internship and even for the future career, because when you know someone in the industry, then someone they may not only offer you an opportunities, but they can refer you to another someone, and that is more important, because steadily speaking, in Chinese they say that know people is better than you know some knowledge. That is sadly that is still more important in the Chinese society. Hong Kong, especially when we are having a lot of interaction with the mainland China. So I always encourage my fellow mentees to go to more industry events, even though you may not think that is very relevant. As long as the association or the society, they allow for the student member or even non-members to participate. For example, the events of the HKIE, I just for promoting, there are some events that is open to the public, and you are welcome to participate, just to get connect and seeing what is happening in the industry. That will give a lot of insight and direction for your ongoing action plan or your future.
Yes, actually the same. Yeah, we are doing the same thing. Yeah. But of course, we will do some more. Just because those I don't know the students what they think, because they learn that kind of knowledge like let's say technology, fintech, or for our I teach the students food safety or something like food related what the knowledge from that. But after we come out to the society, actually maybe they are not doing the same thing.
Most of them.
Most of them. They will choose to do it. So that's why just let them see more is most important. Just yes, you can see a lot of things because even though you are in one of the last time I shared one experience. Last time we had a speaker in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
Okay. So Hong Kong is like a the drinking.
Yeah, Chinese herbal tea.
Yeah, herbal tea. Yeah. But those the people inside they can wear jeans. No one wears suit. So when you come to do the interview, you don't need to just show them like this because it's different culture. So just like this, you can see a lot of in the society they have different culture. So is because they will see that people is not only dressing like this, dressing in suit, then you will be a good person, good candidate. But if you are dressing differently, but they can see more from you. So this is what they are talking about. So it's quite interesting to the students because for us we know that, yeah, because whatever you because actually I have my own business, right? So whatever you wear, actually when we talk, we know who you are. We know what characters, or maybe we know that you are suitable to the job or not, right? But for the students, actually they don't know. So that's why it's a good opportunity for them to see more, to talk more to the entrepreneurs, to some other peoples, some management. Then they will know what we are talking. So easier to connect to the society. So just what our thinking.
Frank, add on quickly. You don't have to convince them because they are already here. My opinion is that in the past, when I was young, I have to join that association to get a gateway, to get to know, about business, to get a job for myself. You guys are luckier, because we will run a shortage of talent, particularly IT. So even though the entity try to do it, we cannot get you because it's already you get engaged, or the AI or industrial engagement program is already captured by the best companies. And you guys look for Huawei, not anymore, but so that's the situation. So with to your questions, I echo with them the same. I agree with them that you have to explore to more seminars. So I'm running one on Saturday, Hong Kong New Space, open talk, the open day of Hong Kong New Space. It's space not for ordinary students supposedly, but it's a good opportunity to learn how to dress, okay, or learn how to deal with the people, okay. So that's my
No problem. So we're going to end it there. We do have drinks, cheese, crackers, food, obviously change the network, but please thank our speakers.
Yeah, it's a picture with no public. Still
working today?
Yeah, for a few more months. We've got great. It's going to be
You need the selfie?
It's all right.
Sure, no problem.
Yeah.
Are you sure? I mean, you have to have a selfie for your Facebook page, right? That's all his Facebook page is. Exactly.
It's like Anson's
That's right, you type selfie.
I got a longer arm.
Yeah, just better.
It's better than him.
You didn't tell me so.
So this, I'm doing great.
I'm not, I just stepped down.
Yeah.